did want to ask in this time of question. I have a client right now. It's funny. We pre-wired his home. We actually put speakers in his home, and we've had several proposal reiterations on the rest of the technology, installation, all that kind of stuff. He's been to the showroom. We exchange text messages, sometimes with him initiating on our kids' baseball. Like we seem to have a really good rapport, but he just hasn't pulled the trigger yet. Can't get him across the finish line. And we'll talk one day, and he says, "I'll call you tomorrow. We'll talk tomorrow," and then nothing. It's not like the guy doesn't have the money; he could buy whatever he wants. What what do you see as a potential, blockade to him pulling the trigger there, and what could be some of those intangibles that I'm not thinking about?
So is he the end user?
He is, yeah.
Okay. So just based on the time here, so I'm okay to stick around. I'll keep talking to you for a second here, or give you some ideas. If anybody else has to bail, I understand the time. But I'm good for overflow time, so I'll be around if you guys want to stick around. You can stick around. All right. So he's the end user, and you said you've already pre-wired for everything.
Yeah, so this is a second structure on his property.
Okay.
It's like his own health spa. I mean, they did huge gym, sauna, steam showers, plunge pool. I mean, it's a multi-million dollar,
Jeez.
extension of his home. It's his own 24-hour fitness, so to speak, and he has
Nice.
no expense on the fit and finish of it. It's absolutely stunning. So we wired this thing. We even put speakers in because of the level of finish. It's all wood
Okay.
ceilings. We wanted to make sure that, all the small aperture speakers were cut in properly into the trim work. So he's already spent some money. But yeah, we just can't get him across the finish line. He wants to couple the trim out of this new gym with upgrades to his house. He's had an integrator that using his words, that he's just kind of lived with all these years. And he's not really happy or thrilled with what they did. And he's a little adverse to control systems. He doesn't want a control system. I'm fine with that. I don't need to sell him a control system. So, like I said, I've given him options. I've said, hey, we can go anywhere you want with this, but you spent good money on really nice speakers. I'm thinking you probably want good power behind it and a easy to use audio system. So anyway,
Mhm.
that's kind of where we're at.
So he bought from you like a la carte the pre-wire, and then he bought from you like a la carte the speakers.
That's correct.
So he's been stringing you along for a little while then.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, he's been abusing you. Um, okay. And so my
I
understanding the
really don't
structure,
think anyone else is involved in this, to be quite honest. I really don't.
yeah. So my understanding that the next phase is he's got to outfit the gym and make it actually function and work. And then he wants to couple that with bringing the main house up to that same level that the gym is going to be at. I'm using gym loosely here, obviously, but
Yeah. And I think
does he
we
have
can't
to, or
make
that's
him.
just a mental decision that he's
No, he really has to do something, and it because one of his pain points right now is in the main house. He's got poorly designed and executed network, and it's sort of
really?
wreaking havoc. Well,
Yeah.
I need to extend that network via fiber
Okay.
between the main structure and the second structure. I can't put a streaming audio system out in his gym until I've got good network. And
Got it.
so,
Got it.
yeah,
Okay. What does he have in the main house for audio?
Nuvo, that the bed. Like he's got 9 zones of Nuvo that have absolutely, crapped the bed.
Okay.
Yeah, they're not in business anymore. He was letting
So
it
what do
run the
you
long.
get? What would you guys like to do?
Yeah, so I want to put in all NAD CI product with Blue Sound,
Blue
Blue
Sound. Okay.
OS independent zones. The new. I don't even
Yeah.
remember the part number. It's so new, but it's a new
Yeah.
NADCI zones.
Yeah. I saw that. I've seen that in a couple places. It's pretty cool. So, okay. Let's talk. So,
Network upgrade. So going from very low end. I mean, he's got a hodgepodge, right? So it's like a Luxel router with a TP-Link switch with Ubiquiti access points, and it's just, there's no cloud key. I mean, it's truly a hodgepodge.
You see TP Links getting sued? All the information to China for all their
John, we don't have time for that kind of that kind of stuff. All right, so
Shut up.
okay, let's talk service. What's this current service provider doing for service?
Yeah, he's using Comcast
No,
Xfinity.
no, I meant like a follow-up service, like service and maintenance. Does this current guy offer him any sort of service and maintenance plan or anything like that?
Oh, well, I mean, the guy, he hasn't been using him.
Okay,
He's sort of just been, which is why he brought me in to begin with. He didn't want to use this guy anymore.
okay, got it. Is there anything you guys have done to make him not trust you?
I can't think of anything. I mean, there hasn't been a single negative comment.
the fact that
In the
there's still
text.
dialogue about their kids and things like that.
I mean, literally, he
the
just,
trust is still there.
yeah, he literally just
Yeah.
sent me information about his son's baseball game 2 days ago.
It's gotta be
So
something.
Yeah,
Gotta be something.
there's usually a couple things that make people pause, right? One is lack of trust. Two
Yeah.
is confusion. Like if he's not super clear on what his immediate next step is, that can cause him to slow
Yeah.
and then value, right? So have you put anything in front of him to like decide upon?
Oh, yeah. Multiple
Okay.
iterations.
Okay. And what was in those iterations? Just the gym or the house also?
Uh, First was gym only. Then he said he wanted to add the house. So that came into play. Additional outdoor audio around the tennis court, outdoor Wi-Fi to cover the whole backyard. And then we started dialing things back in our last conversation when he came to the showroom.
Mhm.
I think I don't think it's the trust thing as much as I think maybe what you said, the confusion, right?
Yeah.
Like I think we're at a price point where um it's a chunk of money, and even though he has it, he's smart. He's a young guy. He's actually probably younger than me. And I'm sure he's just adverse because he's had a bad experience with a previous integrator. And so I think it's not, I think we're at that price point. Like if I was probably $10,000 cheaper than it is, he probably jumps and says, let's go all in. But at the price point of that, $60,000, he's thinking, okay. And he told me, he's like, Corey, I'm sorry, but I just had decision fatigue, like
Yeah,
we had our meeting over here.
that's the
He
concern.
actually had to finish out the build because the builder who I've worked for many, many years, he's an elderly builder. He actually got pneumonia, went into the hospital for the last couple of months of the build. So homeowner had to take that role.
Yeah. So do not drop your price or I will pay John Bates $100 to slap you. This is
Yeah.
not about money. It's about
Yeah.
either decision fatigue or confusion. What are you putting
Yeah.
in front of him? Is this a line item proposal? Is it a budget proposal? Is it just a verbal conversation?
So it's a line item proposal, but I don't do line item pricing.
Okay.
So it's a whole package, right? I look at it like, hey, here's the items that I'm wanting to put into your home, but this is a budget. This is a whole package price. It's
Okay.
yeah, sort of room by
All
room.
right. So you're new here. I won't beat you up too bad on that. What we need to
Yeah.
do is focus on benefits to this guy. So we talk about the benefit budget builder, which is we don't do line item pricing or line item descriptions. We need to break this thing down. Well, let me ask you some questions before I get too prescriptive. Is this guy a pretty assertive guy or is he a really passive, introverted guy?
Passive.
Okay. And is he a like a facts and feelings, or is he a facts and data kind of guy, or is he like a touchy feeling? I mean, he's asking you about your kids, insurance, stuff like that. It's a little more touchy feely, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay. All right. And you're
think
sure
the
on the
main-
passive stuff. So he asks you a lot, he's not direct and tells you what he wants. He's more inquisitive and asks a lot of questions.
Yeah. That's a good way of putting it. Yeah.
All right. Okay. So you're not as far off on your proposal style. with that kind of style. That guy's he's looking for support and some semblance of security. Those are the two things that are really important to him. So, do you guys offer any sort of service plans or service and maintenance programs or anything like that?
Yes, we do.
Okay. Is it a monitoring or is it like include labor and whatnot?
It's primarily monitoring. Yeah, I haven't flushed that out completely yet. To be quite frank, I think our industry is really bad at that. I have
Yeah,
I
we
have
all are.
a
Everybody's
security
busy.
component at my business, so it's a little
Okay.
easier to monetize that. So, but we do offer a few opportunities for service plan ongoing.
Okay. All right.
What
Here's
is,
what I would do. I would take this thing and I would, all the stuff that you've given him. What's his name?
His name is Michael.
Mike. Mike, here's the deal. I know here's what you want to deploy with Mike because he's a support focused guy. He's what we call an amiable, which requires support. And that'll mean more to you the more you're here. But he's an high amiable, which means he wants support and not necessarily hard guarantees, but reassurances is what's really important to him emotionally. Okay. So what you want to do with that is you want to deploy empathy and pom-poms. And pom-poms means you want to cheer on like what's working well for him. And the way we connect this is a narrative hero's journey. Mike, the house is amazing. There's your pom-poms. Your empathy, I know you're tired. There's an E in there somewhere. Sorry, excuse my handwriting. So we got our pom-poms and we have our empathy. I know you're tired. I want to get you enjoying your home. Again, this is the emotional connection. So I want to get you to enjoying your home and the experience. We're wasting, if he was a different style, if he was my style, if he was, who else is left here? Not too many people are left here. A little bit of Hardy's style. Justin Hardy, we'd focus on the wasted time, right? We're around wasting time here. So that's our style. That's how you push our buttons.
Yeah,
With his buttons, I want you to enjoy the house with the family. This is very powerful language. All of these words that I've written on the screen that you can't read because my handwriting, but you'll be able to see the recording later if you need to. All these words are selected on purpose. These are really, really
okay.
important. So I want to get you enjoying the house with the family. So what I've done is I've simplified your options. I took all the stuff we've been talking about for months, Mike, and I've simplified the options. And here's what you need to do in the order you need to do it. Do this in this order. And then you're going to give him the options in large chunks. So it's going to be, we need to get the, and you might, I'll let the technical decision be yours, right? I'm
Sure,
not,
sure.
yeah. But let's say we gotta fix your network
Yep.
for one in the house. And that's going to be 40 grand or whatever it's going to be. I don't know. And then we need to, finish the gym so you can start using it and enjoying it. And that's 15K. And then actually I'm gonna go a little slower. Okay, fix the network for 40K. What does that mean? Benefits: reliable Wi-Fi, secure data, to John's point, secure data, and future expansion. Am I talking about numbers of bits and bots and numbers of Ks? No, I'm not talking about any of that. I'm just talking about the stuff that he cares about. These are called benefits. So reliable Wi-Fi, secure data, future expansion, 40K. Next, we're gonna get the gym running so you can use it and enjoy it. And that's, 15K. What do I get for that? Great audio, easy control, and and then like fun. And then you just keep going down the list. What's the next? So if this is number one, this is number two, number three is like Blue OS. Why do I care about Blue OS? Well, that's going to give you a unified platform, easier use, whatever. I'm not listing any product names. I'm not listing any specifications. This is on a single document, like a Word document or a single email. You could even do this in an email if you were personally
Right.
connected with them like that. You could put a little graphics behind it if you want, make it nice, but this is it. So I've covered a lot of ground here, Corey, but like we're trying to do is empathy and pom-poms based on his personality style. We're going to get into the stuff that matters to him. The house is amazing. I know you're tired. I want you to enjoy this thing with the family. So I simplified all this crap we've been talking about. Do this in this order. Boom, boom, boom. Don't add it up. Each of these chunks he's going to mentally make a decision on separately. So fix the network, get the gym going, get your Blue OS going. And then whatever you do last is service and maintenance. You might have 4 or 5 more things in here, Corey. I don't know, but last is service and maintenance. And this is not like I'm not trying to give you a big homework assignment where you got to magically figure out your service and maintenance plans for the rest of time. What I want you to do is give this guy some sort of plan that he can sign to. It doesn't have to be your last plan or your perfect plan, just something,
Right.
and it needs to have some labor in it because he's a reassurance guy. So monitoring is not going to do all of it. It's going to have to be some labor, some sort of check-in
Yeah.
visits. We'll come see you quarterly or something like that. So, but that will get you a signed piece of paper, and it will get him
Perfect.
off the, you know, I think you're right. I think he's in confusion mode. Sounds like he trusts you. He's probably lacking a little bit in the value, and these benefits will help him understand the value because it's not a list of product, it's a list of benefits for him. And then you've organized it in a way to get past his decision fatigue. That was a lot of
Absolutely.
talking.
Thank you.
What do you think
Thank
about all
you.
that?
No, I needed to hear it.